There is a new feature introduced in Oracle Apex version 23 onwards, which is known as the process chain. And it could be run on a background without the user interaction at all. So if you want to build a dependency, this is a very common one as far as the data loading process, that is extract, load, and transform. So you want to extract only on the success of the extract. I mean, if there are two databases, and then you extract the data and then load and then do some calculation, which is basically transform. So the first process is could be an extract process. Only on success of extract, you start the loading, and then once the data is loaded, you perform the computation. That is called the transform, one after the other. So ideally speaking, in the Oracle Apex, you can have a kind of an execution chain as a parent. Underneath it, you can sequences extract, that is subprocess 1. Then comes the subprocess 2, which could be load, and then you can have the transform as well. And you can build the sequence, and you can change the sequence. Suppose if you want to change the sequence, it is also allowed. Just move that particular process above. The entire coding units will get moved as well between the process. So we will see that with an example or a demonstration in Oracle Apex as well. So here it is. I have created an application known as the process link. Simple one. Let's go to the corresponding page. So if you look at the corresponding page, if you look at it, it's a simple report, interactive report. And what is important is this one. You can run this is a Apex table on which the details gets recorded when the process happens. So that is what is we are going to display it as an interactive report. So I'm taking the process name, current process name, execution ID. So with this column, I have created also to execute it. I have so if you look at it, if you run the page, you will understand it better. So this is my page. So execution ID, and you have a start button here, which should trigger the start of the task. But where do I have this process? So that is where you go to the here in this screen. If you look at it, you have the icon over here on the top. You have after submit validation. Here is the your page designer. Under page designer, you have this, and here is after submit. Under processing, you have different processes. So you can earlier earlier versions you can have the processor, but building up dependencies was not possible. So now I have a parent task. Underneath it, I have different tasks. So this is first, second, third, and fourth. If you want to again, if you want to create the process, it is simple. You create the process. So under the process, yes, you can have underneath it. You can have the child process. So if you look at the main, I mean the process, you have the execution chain. Either it is execution code or execution chain. Under if it is for the rest of this subprocess, it will be only executed code. Whereas the parent one, it has to be as execution chain. So execution chain, and it provides an execution ID whenever for the entire set of the subprocess, it will have a single execution ID. So you can serialize. This is very important. You can serialize. What that means, one after the other. Extract data will be the first one. Next one will be the load data, transform, and reporting. Then yes, as I said, under this you can have the child process. That is what I have created. So here, if you look at it, it is execute code, and execution chain is the parent. So this is what is I mentioned as task chain. Otherwise, the PL SQL code is very simple. What I did is just to track it, I have made an insert into a process daemon value tables. I'm just saying extract. I'm just getting the execution ID and the success 10 just to indicate, because if you look at it as the sequence, you have the sequence 10 and so on. So let's look at that. Let's go to the load. Will have, if you look at it, uh, load is 30, and then transform is 40 and reporting is 50. Or because you can have it as 20, 30, 40 as well. So basically, even if it is the 20 is missing, that is it goes by the sequence. After 10 it has to be 30 only, so it is all sequenced. But what is more important is you create an API also, because we have to set it to run on the background. So you got to, and again, when you set want to have it as an invoke, for this you got to have it as a invoke API. And again, this is for task processing. Apex background process is what, and again at the start of the task button, which is the start task, is what it should bring the API into play. So otherwise, yes, it is pretty straightforward. I have the different different. All these are only execute code under the task processing chain. This is my simple code. I'm just inserting into, so that just to show that what happens in the report, I'm inserting the value in the table so that you can retrieve and see that as well. So that is where I have given this PL SQL code. You can have, as usual, you can change it location where you want, maybe REST enabled SQL or PL SQL. So this is a straightforward one. Only thing is, under extract I'm inserting extract. If you look at load, I'll be inserting loading. Under transform, I'm just transform and reporting, I'm doing an insert into reporting. So pretty straightforward. Only thing is, just to show you that it is working under the sequence. So let's execute and see what happens. Okay, let me run the report and see what happens. Because if you look at it, I have given a delay also. It's again a simple, if you look at it, it's a simple procedure I have written. Otherwise, you can just do a DBMS. It's all up to you. Send sleep, or there is other functions just to delay it. So you can create a appropriate function, or you can directly use them as well as for whatever delay you want. So this is just to show that clearly, because otherwise the execution will be very fast and we will not be able to follow it. That's why I've given a delay over here of about 10 seconds. So now let me execute and see what happens. So here I have to click on the button, then only the process, and look out for the execution ID over here. When I do start, it will change, and that gets reflected. So start. So here becomes 15. It becomes 15 also. First is queued. Now I do a go. Extract the first process, that is extract is load is happening, and then it comes to load data, the next one. Next should be the transform has to happen. Yeah, the transform, third one. And finally you will have the reporting also. um, yeah, reporting also, and then it becomes a success. All that is over. It becomes status code becomes, this is from a Oracle Apex table. The report is built on the Oracle Apex table, which I showed you in the code. Now, what we'll do is we will see what had happened in the table, insert into the table, what had happened. Look out for the execution ID, because this is also I have stored in the table. Go to the page and workshop builder, or go into the command line, and then select start from process demo. Oh, this is the table on which I had inserted. Okay, cool. Extract, load. If you look at it, these are, you have the status message because I inserted 10, 20, 30, 40 is there. Now, what if I bring the reporting on the entire code unit after extract? So to do that, it is so very simple over here. All I need to do is go to the appropriate page under task. Suppose if I want, after extract load, I want to move for some reason I want to move this task over here. So it becomes extract, then becomes reporting, load, and transform. So I save it, and now if I run it, see what happens. I have to quick start the process. So I'll say start process. Now it is 17. Watch out for 17, extract data. And now the next one should be the reporting has to come because of that delay. Yeah, reporting has come. Cool. So after extract, it is reporting, and then I think the load has to come, and then comes the transform. So automatically you drag and drop the dependency. Important point is the dependency changes, and finally after transform it should be the success. It's not the actual flow after transform was reporting, but now after transform it ends. Now you can look at the go to the SQL script and see what happens in that table. See what happens. Okay, if you look at go to the data also. Um, so 10. If you look at it, success is 10. It had 40. The next one was reporting because earlier for process 13, if you look at it, 10, 20, 30, 40. For process 15, it is 10, 40, 20, and 30. Since we have dragged and dropped the process dependencies, we have changed it under the page over here. Since we have changed it from earlier, it was extract, load, transform, reporting. We moved it up into reporting so that now the sequence was changed. So this way, you can build dependencies on the task. Earlier, there are tools like Apache, but yeah, there are. But Apache, if you look at Airflow, Apache Airflow, the dependencies is much more flexible, much more conditions you can provide. Here, it is the first time Oracle Apex has this process dependency, so it is little bit maybe a little bit simple or crude. Over the period of time, they will make it the complex. So it's kind of a now they are Oracle Apex. The target is towards process automation. They are moving into that direction. So now the first step is they have built the process dependency. So when you want to build the process dependency, first you have to have the master one, chain execution, and underneath it you can have different process execution code. You can have the PL SQL code. So I think with this demo, it was pretty straightforward and simple, and hope you understood it better. Thank you. Cheers.